Hey, what's up? It's me, your girl E, and we are now coming back with what was known as the Tuesday Tips. But instead of just Tuesday Tips, I want to encourage you to write whenever. So the Tuesday Tips is now going to be called the Creative Realm. I'm going to help you tap into that creative realm, help you expand your imagination, and focus on certain areas that we all struggle with whenever we're writing. Sometimes it's character development, sometimes it's plot development, sometimes it's storytelling, like getting the message across. So what we're going to do now today is focus on plot development. And of course, I'm going to show you of course, we know how to do the grid, that triangle. We're going to talk about how to brainstorm and really how to get your story across, whether you're writing your biography or just a fiction novel. All right. So starting with the plot development, we all know about that triangle. It's that line, that exposition or beginning. Then you're going to go up, and that is rising action. You're going to fall down. You're going to get to the top. That is the climax, and then you're going to fall down. That's the falling action. And then it's a conclusion. Think of almost like a pyramid. Think of a sliding board. Think of a roof of a house. All right. And you don't necessarily have to draw your diagram for you to develop your plot, but it can help you stay focused, because you have to go in, you go up, you explode, you fall down, and then you go back. You slide out. We'll say it that way. All right. So what we're going to do is start with the exposition, which is known as the beginning. In the beginning, we all know that the story starts where we have the beginning, sometimes introduction of the characters. It's also considered a narrative exposition. This is an insertion of the background information. Again, mentioned, you have your characters. You have your introduction to what is going to take place. Not that it has taken place, but it's going to give the reader an idea of, this can happen. So you think of your setting. You think of your characters. You think of your backstory, your prior plot events. That's if you have written a series. And you might even think of historical context, etc. All right. Now, in literature, okay, fiction, this the literature exposition appears in a form of expository writing, embedding with the narrative. Okay, so this is going to really break down the narrative. What is the viewpoint of the writer telling the story? Now, also, the exposition is one of 4 rhetorical modes, along with description, persuasion, and narration. Okay, now that sounds a lot of like blah, 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 the Charlie Brown talk, but don't let that intimidate you when writing a story. Just begin writing. Introduce the main characters. You got your protagonist, you got your antagonist, and you have your secondary characters. Introduce the story, and then put in your backstory. Okay, you need to also take in consideration info dump. All right, info dump is when you put too much information, especially in the beginning of the story, the exposition, and you can lose your reader. Think of the stories, the books that you have read where you're not even through the 2nd chapter and you're already bored, because you're just telling too much, like you're telling too much information. Think of meeting that one person and it's TMI. Just told me too much information. All right. That's how you think of info dump. They're just dumping it all in it before you can even grasp the story. What you want to do is allow your reader to figure it out as they go. You want your reader to be reading the book and go, oh my gosh, what? And then maybe go back a few pages to see if they saw it coming. And if they saw it coming, they'd be like, oh, I told you. Right? That's what you want. This is your exposition. So this is going to be known as the plot zone. The plot zone is what we're going to do is we're going to break it all down. Moving forward, we're going to break it all down. We're going to break down the beginning. We're going to break down the rising action. We're going to break down your climax. We're going to break down your following action. And we are going to break down the conclusion. We're going to break everything down. Think of a construction zone. Me being married to a construction worker, I know about that breakdown. We're going to demo it. And then we're going to rebuild it. And you're going to have the best story. You might even win a Pulitzer. Yeah. So just really think about that, all right? All right, guys, have a great Tuesday, and welcome to the Creative Realm.